At the end of this video, even though if you're a beginner and completely new to Moombahton, you will be able to create something like this. Also, before we start the video, don't forget to subscribe because we're trying to hit some subscribers. What's up, guys? You already know who it is. It's your boy.
Bro, I got this mixtape. You trying to give it a listen?
And I've had some people asking me to make a beginner's tutorial for Moombahton on FL Studio. Some people that watch my channel are beginners, some people are intermediate, some people are professionals in FL Studio and they know so much. But I want to dedicate this video to the people that are just beginning with making Moombahton in FL Studio and maybe don't even know how FL Studio completely works. I used to be there myself as well. I was completely new to FL Studio. I didn't know shit about Moombahton. I think I looked a little bit something like this. Hey, 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 hey. Woo! So today we're gonna go all the way back to the basics of FL Studio and make a Moombahton track together all the way from scratch. Okay guys, so before we start this episode, I'm gonna do something completely new. I'm gonna follow one person every single time I post a video on this channel on my Instagram. So the only thing you have to do is go to my Instagram and follow me, and I'll pick one random person to follow. So I think for now it's quite obvious who that person's gonna be. Yeah. But yeah, I just followed Ayush Abrani right there on my Instagram. Now let's get back to the video. Normally I pre-make a track before I start making a video about it, but this time I didn't do that. So we're gonna open up FL Studio right now, right here. Right there. And I know it looks super big, like all the buttons and what is that and what is this and what are these, but basically you don't use that much, to be honest. So just pay attention what I do, and those are the things you usually use in FL Studio to make songs. The first thing we want to do is set the BPM, which is the beats per minute or the tempo or whatever you want to call it, to 100 instead of 130. Every time you open up FL Studio it will take you to 130, but that's a bit too quick, and 100 is a bit more of Moombahton. I think this is what people normally see the first time they open up FL Studio. So this right here is more or less your files and your database of FL Studio. They have one thing, it's called packs, and that's where I normally take all my samples that I use. So all the sounds that I use in FL Studio for a song, I take from packs. A lot of packs you can download for free online, and this will give you a lot of different kicks and snares and hats and effects and sweeps and vocals and whatever you need basically to make a Moombahton track. But today we're going to use this pack, which is the Madsko Signature Pack Volume 1. It's completely for free, so if you did not download it yet, download it and you'll have everything, basically what you need to create your first Moombahton track. The first thing we're going to do is put down a lot of kicks, and for Moombahton the kicks are very simple. For today's video, we're going to use this kick right here. What we're going to do is click on the kick and drag it here to our playlist. This is basically our playlist, which will eventually be the complete song. And what I like to do is use every single track for a different sample. So track number 1 in this case is going to be the kick, and a Moombahton kick is very simple to make. The only rhythm it basically has for a simple Moombahton track is that it hits every single beat. So if you would be counting 100 BPMs, it sounds like this. And the kick would hit on every single time you hear the clock tick. So 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Just like that, basically. What we're going to do then is select all the kicks, Control C or Command C if you're on a Mac, to copy them, and then paste them with Control V or Command V, so we don't have to put it one by one by one by one. And then what we have is the basic Moombahton kick. Just like that, super simple. The next thing we're gonna do is create the snares, and the snares are the things that make Moombahton quite unique to any other style because they hit in a certain pattern. Right now we can do two things. You can either go to your snares, which are right here, select your snare and drag it onto this playlist right here, or what we can also do is come over here to the channel rack. We open up the channel rack, we create a playlist, and we call the playlist Snares. like that. So right here at the top you'll see snares, and then we can drag the snare to this little playlist. So let's see which one I'm going to use. I think the basic one. So we're going to make a basic track, so we're going to use basic snares. So what I do is drag it all the way here. So now we have the Madsko snare right there. We right click on the name and we go to piano roll, which will give us this, and then we can put down the snares in this piano roll like that. So the Moombahton snare will hit like this. If this is one beat, it would hit right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the next time it will hit on 1, 2, 3, like that, and then it goes on and on. So 4, 3, 4, 3, just like that. We're going to copy again, paste it, and it will sound like this. Basically like that. I think we're going to add another snare just to make it a bit louder, like that one. No, this one. Yeah, this one. So we're going to go to piano roll again, and we're going to do the same. And right now you can see the other snares where they are, so it's super easy to just put down the new snare on the right position, just like the other snare. To top it off, we're going to add one more snare, which is this super soft one. We're going to go to the piano roll. We're going to do exactly the same again. So do it like that. But instead of keeping it on every single one that we did, we're just going to delete a few random ones. So let's say this one we're going to delete. We're going to delete this one, and then we'll do the same like that. So then your drums will sound like this. Right now I don't hear a lot of difference because the first snare that we used, this one, is quite loud. So what we're going to do now is click on the snare, and then right here you see track, and we're going to click not here on the little stripes but on the track, which will send this snare to the mixer track basically. So we'll send it here to number 5, and we're going to do the same thing with the other snares we use. So put it on track, it will give it a unique track, or on the mixer track, so it will get number 6, and this one will get number 7, just like that. And now you can see how loud they are as well. And what I want to do is put the volume down on the basic snare, the first one that we used. I want to put the volume down a little bit on this one, and I feel like boosting this one up a little bit, just like that, not too much. If we're back here in the playlist, we can add the drums by simply clicking right here. We select the snares, and then either with the pencil tool or with this paint tool, we can put it down like that. And then we'll do another one right there. And then what we have is this. I think the kick we used is a bit too hard. So what we're going to do is replace it with a dancehall kick with this one. So what we'll do is drag it onto one of the other kicks, and then it will replace every single kick that we use. Look, just like that. Right now we got our kick, our snares, but we miss a lot of stuff still before we can have a full Moombahton song. What I like to do is add some perks. So think of hi-hats, think of rim shots, of tambourines, congos, stuff like that. So we're gonna make another pattern, and we're gonna call this one Perks 1, for example, like that. So this is gonna be Perks 1, and we got here this little perk file with all these stuff in there, and we're gonna just add some stuff to our perks. So I think this tambourine will sound sick all the way at the beginning. Go to piano roll, put it right there. Always use the C5 because the C5 is the root note, so that's gonna be your normal sounding one. If you put it on C1, it's gonna be super high. Put it on C4, it's gonna sound super low, and it could be sick to do that. It's up to you, of course. You can go crazy, go stupid. Ah! We're also gonna add some of this shaky, which is basically a shaker. Put that right there. Go to piano roll, and then we're gonna do it a little bit before the first snare hit, so right there. Let's see if we put our pattern right there, just like that. So like that basically. So we're gonna do like that. I'm gonna copy that again there. And put that one there as well. We're gonna use a congo as well, not too often, just a little bit. So let's put the congo right there. Go to the piano roll. Just like that. So we're gonna leave it like that. That would be our first perk. Actually, I'm gonna add one more thing, which is a hi-hat, a closed hi-hat. Just a small one. Like that. Super simple, small hi-hat. We're gonna go to the piano roll again, and we're gonna do the same as our snares. So like that. Just kidding, like that. Like that basically. But we're also gonna do one all the way in the beginning there, all the way in the beginning here, all the way in the beginning there, all the way. Just like that basically. I think later I want to add another pattern with one more thing. So what we're gonna do is create another pattern, call it Perks 2, and then add this shaky hat like that. And what we're gonna do, this is gonna be at the second part of our drop, and we're gonna do like that basically. So 1 2 3 1 2 3 snare, and then 1 2 snare, 1 2 3 snare, 1 2 snare. So like this. If we put that in the playlist right here, see, copy paste that as well, we'll have something that sounds like this. Let's put everything we did, by the way, on a track as well. So we'll put all the perks that we just made on the mixer track so we can play around with the volume as well. The shaker I want to do softly because it's a little extra sound. Just like this shaker. Just like this, yeah. What I normally do on the tambourine, that hits all the way in the beginning. So with this one, I like to put some reverb on there. So the mixer track, so this thing is not only for volume but also for effects. So we're gonna add an effect which you can get right here. We're gonna click on it and we're gonna go to Fruity Reverb. So the basic reverb, the controls on the reverb go super far in depth, but what we're gonna do is basically just put up the wet a little bit, which gives the reverb a little bit more effect. So it sounds like that. And if we play it by itself, like that. If we put more wetness on there, so we'll put it like down there, just like that. This is what we have right now. So our little first part with the snares, the kicks, the perks, and then later at the second part we got our second set of perks.